The stories shared on the Busy Baddies are submitted by real listeners and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. To protect the privacy of everyone involved, all names, companies, and identifying details have been changed or omitted. Any resemblance to real people or events are purely coincidental. We believe in keeping it real while keeping it respectful. Thank you for sharing your experiences and for trusting us to spill the tea with care.
When the lights go low and the real work begins, this is the Busy Baddies.
Where assistants come uncensored, the stories get spicy, and the corporate filter, Control Alt Delete.
I'm Michelle, EA to the CEO of a Fortune 150 company.
And I'm Mel, former C Suite EA turned admin rebel.
And we're here to talk about the real stuff, the stories that never make it to the all hands meeting.
Hey, Betty, so welcome back.
Hey, everybody, it's been a minute.
It has. It's been a couple weeks. We hope A, that you missed us. B, apologize.
How could you not miss us?
Yeah, we missed us.
Yes, we did.
Let's be for real. But life was lifing, as we had said on LinkedIn. For those of you who follow us, some heavy things going on, some travel, life just got in the way. But everything is top of mind, and just glad to be back with you guys, and hope that you were able to get caught up on past episodes. Maybe you didn't listen to, or anything like that. But
yeah, I mean, you don't ever, we've talked about this just being a very random, sporadic thing we talked about, and to not have done this for a few weeks, I really missed it.
I did too. Yep.
Yeah.
It's things that you never did that you didn't really know how much it meant until you didn't do it. But it was like, I couldn't wait to get back to it because I myself enjoy the episodes thoroughly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not for selfish reasons, but I just think it's exciting. I think it's only going to get better, which kind of segues into what we want to talk about today. Waking up this morning and being able to go to a women's conference in Indiana at the JW Marriott was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Never in a million years did I think I would be getting a book signed by Beyonce's mom. I mean, let's just marinate in that for a minute.
Yeah, y'all, she said, "Hi, Michelle." And then she was like, "I'm just going to sign it like that." And I was like, I will remember this moment forever. So,
yes.
Hey.
Right. Hey, Tina Knowles.
They're listening to this.
Yeah, no, it was, I've never left something more inspired and also questioning maybe choices that I've made, things that I'm doing in my life, directions that I feel pulled, and I just feel so inspired. I can't even put into words what it meant to be there today.
Yeah, and I had brought this up a few episodes ago. So this was the conference that I got invited to, that I was like, wait, what, me? Is this for me? So a little bit of the imposter syndrome actually sitting in the room, and I wish we had more time to network, just kind of roam around the room. But super thankful to have been invited, and so excited to get into it.
Yeah, it was. I think, I mean, you go and you always see these people and you think, wow, I could never do that. I could never write a book. I could never be inspirational. I could never have children that become mega superstars like Beyonce. And, and then you're in the room with these people, and it made me feel humble, but also sad in a way, because I thought, why isn't this opportunity shared with more people?
Yeah.
In our position as either assistants or even the role that I'm in as project manager, because I think a lot of leaders, this is a shout out to you and a call out, really.
Yeah.
You know, if you get an invitation to something, if you can't make it, extend that to your assistant or someone under you that you see potential in,
Yeah.
that you think is a natural leader or someone who could really get value, because I cannot begin to tell you again what it meant to me to be in that room and receive the invaluable information that we got from these people.
Yeah, and not only that, but just the gratitude of the extension of the invite.
Mhm.
And this could have certainly fell on a day that I just could not have attended. Luckily, it worked out. But I sat there seeing, gosh, I don't know, there probably had to be 80 tables. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. But we could have easily filled up 20 of those, that I could have
100%.
just rattled off names
Mhm.
that would have been just as grateful, would have been there eyes wide open
Yep.
and just absorbed everything.
Yep. Absolutely.
And to know that the past 2 years, we at our company did an admin conference, which again, we've talked about it numerous times on the podcast. But if those that attended our conference just had a fraction of what
Mhm.
I felt
Yep.
sitting in that room
Yep.
today,
Yep.
mission accomplished in
Yep.
my eyes.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's because we so oftentimes don't feel poured into or seen as being valuable enough to be poured into by people that, and again, I think leaders sometimes take for granted the opportunities that they have, the people that they are subject to be in rooms with,
Mhm.
information they're available to receive, and just I've just never been more inspired and,
Yeah.
taken back by the people in the room. I mean, you like you said, imposter syndrome. You're sitting with CEOs of large corporations, like,
Yes. Owners
yes,
of, yeah.
big, big, big people. And to just have a small portion of that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and not to be ungrateful, but just to kind of play devil's advocate a bit,
Yep.
there were also people where I'm just like, you have all kinds of opportunities.
Mhm.
What are you doing here?
Right.
And I tried not to stay in that negative headspace, but as a peon,
Yeah.
or like, just not a very important person,
Yep.
you can't help but think that
Mhm.
of, you have all of these avenues
Yep.
to network and meet great people, that it's hard to kind of sit in that seat
Mhm.
and be like, what are you getting from this?
Right.
And that's probably really bad to say. And I don't mean it in any rude, disrespectful way, but it's more of self reflection for me of, instead of me being here,
Mhm.
and it have been one of 20 conferences I've probably had the privilege to attend,
Mhm.
who could have been here instead of me,
Mhm.
that this would have changed the trajectory
Mhm.
in their career path, in the choices, like, so many avenues I see that this could have really changed for people.
Absolutely. And I think I felt something similar to that of I found myself looking in the room and knowing the appreciation and the gratitude that I felt in my heart, and finding myself looking at certain people at several tables and thinking, do they really appreciate it as much as I do? Do
Yeah,
they really understand how grateful they should be to have the opportunity to be here?
yeah,
And I think a lot of times maybe we're so starved
yes.
to get that opportunity that it makes us even more grateful.
Hmm.
And that's why I was very intentional at the end to walk up to the person who made it possible, who extended the invitation to
Yeah.
tell them, I don't think you know what it meant to me,
Right.
because I think that encourages them next time maybe to think, you know what, I remember what that meant to Melissa and Michelle
Yeah.
and other people who came up to me. Maybe next time I'll pick two people from that same pool.
Yeah.
And, and I encourage anybody as well. And Michelle and I talked about this when we were standing in line for coffee. But, if you see your boss is getting a table at an event and you have great interest, or there is someone who you have always looked up to who's going to be on a panel and is going to be speaking, speak up and say, hey, if you can't fill that table, I would love to go.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you that person is probably not even thinking about that one time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad you kind of were feeling internally what I was feeling, because I think those that are lucky enough, to be in those elite groups at work, it's like I said, it's not anything out of a malice place, but I think after so many of those opportunities, like, you have to become just, like, numb to it, right?
Yep.
Like, oh, it was just another conference with, some inspirational speakers, no big deal.
Yep.
But, like, they had some pretty incredible names.
They did. So they opened up with a gentleman, Dan was his first name.
Dan Harris.
Dan Harris.
Yeah.
Phenomenal speaker who went into, and I strongly encourage too, they've already set the date for next year. It's sometime in November.
Friday, November 13th,
I think so. You can buy your discounted tickets now. I encourage anyone, start to have the conversations with your boss to put the money, if that's something that you want to do, or maybe get your company to sponsor a table.
Yeah.
They had him, they had Hoda Kotb, they had Beyonce Knowles' mom, Tina Knowles. They had
breakout speakers then. So they had those keynotes. And then you could go to two different rooms, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and pick two other incredible, well, they had four, I think you could choose from, authors, all different backgrounds. And you actually personally knew one of them.
Yeah, so Tissa Richards, she just released a book. Big shout out to Tissa because she gave us a shout out on LinkedIn. And she has a book out called Rethinking Resilience. And if you ever get the chance to meet this absolutely precious human being, I strongly encourage everybody to follow her on LinkedIn, buy a copy of this book.
It's 99 cents on Kindle, I think she said today.
Right now.
Hopefully when this comes out, it's still 99 cents. If not, maybe she'll give us a Batty discount code to get her book.
And she is a fan of the podcast too, by the way. But just a lovely human being with so many good nuggets of information, because it's like she said in the breakout session that we sat through, resilience is taught to us that you disregard what you're feeling and that you bounce back quickly.
Yeah.
And, resilience is something that in her mind, when you rethink it, it actually can be your leg up on competition. It can make you unique, and it could be a superpower.
Yeah.
So it was phenomenal to hear her speak, to get to see her, to spend time with her. I ran into several old coworkers that I worked with through the years, and it just is always so re-energizing to realize just how lucky and blessed you've been to work with so many phenomenal people. And again, it goes back to your network is your net worth.
Shout out, Brett.
Yes.
From Toyota.
Yes.
We're still using it today.
It is. I mean, and
hopefully we don't get sued. We love you, Toyota.
Do you have a trademark?
If not, you should.
Yes.
Before we do.
Yes. Tag that somehow, because that could be the name of my next book, or my first book, I should say. But I mean, I just think about, just the phenomenal people that I have had the absolute privilege of interacting with in my entire career,
Yeah.
and seeing them And like you said, it was like, everybody was just so excited to see, and I saw it throughout the room of, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. And, those connections are just completely invaluable.
Yeah, they were, and I was in awe to be in the room again. Thank you, Erica, for inviting us and
Mhm.
seeing value in us attending this. It was instrumental, and yeah,
It'll just not be soon forgotten. Like, I don't think that, I mean, I left out of there. I don't know about you. I thought, am I doing what I was put on this earth to do? Does
hmm
it align with my values?
yes,
Um, why haven't I wrote a book? Could this podcast be a great success one day? And I think the biggest thing that I took away in the closing from Hodakapi was spend 30 minutes a day for 30 days on an idea that you have
yes,
and give it legs. Do research, figure out what it is, because I thought that I can give anything 30 minutes a day. And if I really was intentional, like she said, that's 900 minutes.
yeah,
And at the end
nine
of
hundred
that,
hours.
900 hours, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And if at the end of that, you will know or not know, and know unequivocally that that's right or that's wrong.
right,
And so if you have an idea, it may sound silly,
yeah.
but find the niche. And I think Tina Knowles kind of gave the same advice.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a consistent message. I think in every one of them that we went to, values
Mhm.
was very forefront in
Yep.
all of their stuff.
Yep.
And I know when I go to work,
Mhm.
and obviously, we're not high up C-suite leaders. We
Right.
work for them.
Yep.
Um, I don't know that I'm leading going into work every day of does this job align with my values?
Mhm.
And in Dan's his big thing that he does now is, meditates.
Yep.
I'm not a meditator. I
Right.
know you've dabbled in meditation.
It puts me to sleep, which I love.
Yeah, hey, it serves the purpose,
Right,
right?
I mean,
Yeah. So he had us all close our eyes, think of something.
mhm.
And I found myself actually like, hey, maybe this could work.
Mhm.
Maybe I could really get into meditating.
Yeah.
So on top of just great advice and listening to all these inspirational things, they also had some things where you could literally probably take and start integrating into your life. And meditation and the focus on values
Mhm.
was really cool to see.
It was, and I think when I kept hearing the reoccurring theme of values,
hmm
does what you're doing align with values? How your values is who you are at the core of your
Yeah.
being, and when you try to go against that, it's so apparent. And I think for me, it automatically made me think of being in EA and how I always wanted to ensure the person that I supported that my values aligned with that person.
Yeah.
And I remember the most seamless of relationships that was 100% in sync.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is 100% proven to be true, because I can go back in time and think these people that I have worked for, I aligned with them on who I was as a human being, which is what made it so effortless.
Yeah.
And so I think my ask of you would be, if you feel like you're in a role and someone who goes against everything that you believe and you're really struggling in your job, I would say do some soul searching
Yeah.
and think about, what are my top 3 values? What am I not willing to compromise?
Exactly. hmm
And worst case, go find another job with someone and be intentional about those values being brought up in
Yeah.
an interview process.
Oh yeah, because I was just gonna, say that while you're doing some
Mhm.
self searching, you might have the hard realization that the company or the person you work for
Is not it.
is not it.
Yep.
And I think you made a great point that whether we like it or not, or even realize it,
Mhm.
there are values
Yep.
um, that you are thinking of. And if it's kind of crossing that line, and
Yep.
it's going to affect you whether you realize it or not. And it could be the one thing that you just can't put your finger on it.
Yeah.
It's just something isn't feeling right here.
No.
So it could just, it could be values, and it may just be something you're not thinking about, because who's going to work and thinking like, yeah,
No.
this place doesn't align with XYZ.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't work for a religious company that prints Bibles if you're an atheist. I
Right.
mean, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it sounds crazy, but it's like, to me, one of my, probably my number one core value in life is kindness. I cannot work for someone who is an asshole.
Yeah.
I refuse,
Yeah.
because that is so far from who I am. I will never fairly represent them,
Yeah.
because I will be a polar opposite. I will be a clog in the wheel,
Yeah.
and they, 9 times out of 10, if they're an asshole to everybody else, they're going to be an asshole to you.
Oh, absolutely.
And kindness is reciprocated for
Yeah.
me. So if I'm kind to you, I expect you to be kind to me.
Yeah. And when we were in Tissa's breakout, she had us close our eyes and
Mhm.
think of one of our values. And what came to me immediately was fairness.
Yep.
And this roots to my childhood. It's always been there. And I feel like at our place, like, it gels with fairness. I think it there's still maybe some gray area of,
Sure.
it's not
Mhm.
necessarily probably 100% fair for
Sure.
everybody.
Yep.
Which I don't know how a company can be 100% fair
Right.
100% of the time. Um, so yeah, fairness was, that's just the word that immediately came to my brain when Tessa had us think of something like a non-negotiable.
Yeah, and I think the example that she gave, she started an extremely successful cybersecurity company
Mhm.
early on in her career, had family as investors. People put their life savings into this, and it became extremely successful, only for her other investors and board of directors to want her to do something that went against who she was
Yeah.
and her values. And she said, I had to make what I knew in my heart was right, but was an absolutely gut wrenching decision to close that business, because it was so far from what I felt was right that
Mhm.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, wow, I want to be that person. I want to that to be the hill that I die on.
Yeah. And the last point that she made in closing it out, she says is a question that she gets often, and it was, does she regret anything?
Yep.
And the fact that she still said, I would make the same choice over and over and
Yep.
over again,
Yep.
just tells you how important, whether
Being
you
true to yourself.
whether you realize it or not,
Yes.
your values
Mhm.
are just there, and
Yep.
stay ingrained in you and in your decision making.
Yep.
It was very cool, you guys.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people too, I would tell you, if you don't feel inspired by what you're doing, go back to what those core values are
Yeah.
and find something that aligns with that. And again, you will never work another day in your life,
Yeah.
because you will be so fulfilled, and you will have that same stance of, I would make that hard decision today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from
Yeah.
now, a year from now, because in my core, it is soul filling for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So I say the biggest takeaway for me from a lot of today was values.
Yeah.
And that will carry you so far in life, because if you aren't true to yourself, you can't be yourself, your authentic self.
Yeah. And and what just popped into my head with you saying that is going into this conference, I would have probably never expected
Mm-mm.
to have come out with the realizations or like value, like because we had no idea what to expect. We've never
No.
been to one of these
Mm-mm.
things. I didn't know, they were showing who the speakers were going to be, but
Right.
who knows what they were going to talk
Right.
about. And so to have gone through that and be like, "Ha, I'm totally an adult now." Like I felt so grown up coming out of that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, and it was kind of funny because some people were like, I would love to know what's going on in both of your minds from the perspective that you're seeing this. And it's like, I can't even articulate it right now because I'm so inspired. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make notes on my phone. I
Yeah.
want to go home and do this.
Yeah.
It was just, it was amazing. I can't say enough good things.
So that's funny. That's how you, I guess, took that,
Yeah.
because in my brain I was like, why? Because we shouldn't be here. Like because like we have these silly little brains that
Yeah.
you just think we,
Yeah.
and so it's just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like, I guess human nature and how each of our brains work and all of that stuff. But I was like, but why?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it goes back to something that someone said and I want to say it's been like a month ago, but I feel like 3 months has been in the past 2 weeks, where someone said, assume positive
Yeah,
intent.
yeah,
And I think that that's hard to do. And I've tried to get better at that. My husband is the person who is always looking at the angle somebody's trying to get over.
yeah,
That's not what they meant. They were being, facetious or whatever. So
yes,
it's hard when you kind of live in that realm with someone because I start to think, and he's like, well, you always see the best in people.
yeah,
Well, yeah, because I think everybody has potential. And,
yeah,
and again, it goes kind of back to my value of kindness.
yeah.
Like,
No, and let me just say this, that I personally know the person that asked this.
yeah,
She is fantastic, so sweet. So
yes,
I know it was not
yes,
bad intent.
yeah,
Um, but it like the first thing that came through my head was like, but why?
yeah, yeah,
Like, why would you love to know what us, I'm still an EA, you were a former EA.
yep,
Like, what's so special of why you want to be in my brain of how I just
yeah,
got all that?
yeah. I think a lot of people are intrigued, especially if they get it. And
Yeah,
she's someone who gets it.
for sure.
She has reverence for the position.
Yes.
She really has a lot of respect for the job that we do, the leaders that we have worked for and work with. Um, so I think from her, it's a curiosity perspective
Yeah.
of I'm listening to the same thing, but I want to know from their perspective
Yeah.
because we are such strategic thinkers that I'm sure that she's like I'm sure it's just like rapid firing and like going in all these different directions. And I was like, that's exactly what it feels like. It's
Yeah.
like a short circuit right now.
Yeah. And then, I had whispered to Melissa at one point, of like making a joke of why doesn't my brain, like, like they're so inspiring, and they just
Yeah.
like didn't take no for an answer, and they strived for just more and more
Yep.
and more and more. And I love where I am.
Yep.
I've talked, well, I haven't talked on the podcast about this, but there was a point in my career where I thought maybe it was time to not be an
Yeah.
EA anymore.
Yep.
And so getting over all of that stuff and realizing, no, I actually do love what I do. I'm in a very unique spot. I was older
Mhm.
when I came to the company. And so I just kind of felt like that time had passed for
Mhm.
me
Yep.
to like go that trajectory of like, I want more, I want to do more. And so sitting there in a room with all of these amazing people that are reaching for the
Yep.
stars. I just like, that was really not hard, but I'm like, I didn't get that gene.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I lost it along the way somewhere.
Yeah, and I think some of what I heard too is, around opportunities.
Yeah.
Don't pass up opportunities. Don't you miss the chances that you don't take.
Yeah.
So when someone gives you an opportunity, seize it. If you
Yes.
have the chance to work on a project, do it. Do it in silence. Let your work speak for itself, but don't pass up an opportunity. Don't be afraid. Take the chances. Failure is growth. um, you know, seize moments, seize opportunities, pour into yourself. And again, like Michelle said, there's nothing wrong with this wanting to be your career for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
There is a lot of value add, there is a lot of fulfillment that people get out of this role. I know I could have been a lifelong EA had my leader not retired.
Yeah.
I would work for her till the day that she died,
Mhm.
because it was so effortless. We were the same person, very same values, very same mannerisms,
Kindness was at the root
root
for
of
both. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's where for me it was like, okay, this is the chance that I have to take to pivot off. Doesn't mean that I won't go back sometime,
Yeah.
because it does feel so comfortable. And there is things that I miss about it. I
Yeah.
miss, you know, being the go-to person. I miss being the person who, someone is reliant on me, that I'm not. I now I'm part of a bigger picture
Yeah.
where I was the picture.
Yeah.
And there's some things, and maybe that's selfish. I don't know, but I think that is kind of where my mind was like, I feel good about taking opportunities. I am entitled to opportunities, and there's nothing wrong if you do want to take opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard, and I think we have a few other people that have moved on from the EA role, and I think they struggle with the exact
Hmm.
same thing, is especially when you're supporting the C-suite
Yep.
team, right?
Yep.
You are the go-to person, you are the key holder, you're in the know of everything.
Yep.
Um, and you leave that team and you're still doing great, incredible work,
Yep.
but it's in a different capacity,
Hmm.
and you're just kind of on that island, and yes, you may be part of a
Yep.
team, but it's not it's not so close, like,
Mm-mm. No.
working for a leader and their staff.
No, because to me, I don't feel fulfilled and accomplished when I log off on Friday afternoon. I
Yeah.
don't feel like I did anything impactful.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm doing work and I'm going towards the greater group of the team, but I am not personally seeing results directly every single day.
Yeah.
I like to be a change maker. I like to make
Right.
impact. I like to make life easy. I like to nurture people. I like
Mhm.
to, you know, um, be intuitive enough to know, oh, she caught a cold on Monday. I'm going to go ahead and, empty Wednesday afternoon because I bet she could just use the afternoon to take it easy.
Yeah.
I miss being that
Yeah.
to
The
someone.
change maker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that another job isn't fulfilling, but I say if you feel that pull to go do something else, I say give it a shot,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So wrapping this lovely day up
Yeah.
on a high,
So high.
and Melissa and I are gonna go kick some ass at our workout after this. So we're so motivated. We're just gonna like exercise till our I don't
Yeah.
even know what. But just be mindful of what's out there, the
Mhm.
opportunities that you have, conferences that are going on in your line of work. Um, this was the Indiana Women's Conference.
Mhm.
There were men in the audience.
Absolutely.
So I don't believe it's necessarily like women only. Um, but there's so much stuff to get involved in.
Mhm.
invest in yourself.
Yeah, and find, even if you're not in Indiana, find local, mentorship programs. Get involved in women's organizations in your state to network with
Yeah.
people, to, find people who can bring you in rooms and introduce you to people and help your career. And, just the biggest thing is, again, if you have a leader, they are buying tables, they're sponsoring. So many corporations do this. Interject yourself. If
Yeah.
you're not being invited, ask someone.
Yeah.
And if you do get invited, show up, be grateful, be thankful, because you also could be the person who kills that opportunity for somebody else.
Yeah, and also for those that are leading for the companies that are buying tables,
Yep.
do put some thought into
Mm-hmm.
who's really going to get the most out of this, who would never have an
Yep.
opportunity to attend this,
Yep.
and just like share that love,
Yep.
because it was so nice,
Mm-hmm.
to be given this opportunity. And I think Melissa and I both learned so much from
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep. I
And
now
that,
have 3 books to go read.
yes, and we have lots of books
Yeah.
to read,
Yes.
which is a great thing.
It is. It was a phenomenal day. Again, it just reminded me the importance of lifting up other people,
Yeah,
bringing them along the way, being intentional about the people that you do bring into rooms, and just being inclusive and
yeah,
bringing somebody along with you. Like, you just don't know what that's going to mean to somebody else.
yeah, and just to throw this in, which just popped into my head on our second speaker breakout session that we went to, we sat, plopped ourselves down in the
Yeah.
front row in both sections.
That's right.
Don't be afraid
Front of the
to sit in
class.
the front row,
That's
people,
right.
okay?
Yep.
And there was a lovely lady sitting next to me, and Melissa, the kind person that she is, was like, "Hey, where are you from? What do you do?"
Right.
Turns out that we had company ties
Which is so
to
crazy.
this woman. She works for her dad. It's a family company, and so you never know.
No, and our company was what gave her dad a start at his own business.
Yeah,
And she was like, we would not even be a company if it wasn't who you work for that gave us that opportunity.
yeah.
So it was like a complete full circle moment, um, which is humbling because it's
It
like,
was really cool.
it just, today I felt like anything is possible.
Yeah,
I can do anything.
yeah.
No
No
questions.
question. Burpees better not be on the workout
Right.
today.
Because I can't do those.
Well, everybody, thank you for listening.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, share with all your friends. We're glad to be back.
Yep.
We missed you.
Yep.
And hang on tight
Yep.
because we're ready to rock and roll.
The bitches are back.
The bitches are back. Bye.
That's it for us today, bringing order to corporate chaos.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that follow button.
Yours truly, Melissa,
And Michelle,
the
the Busy Baddies.